According to preliminary estimates, this year the norm for investing 2% of GDP in the defense industry will be met by 60% of NATO members. In total, the alliance will spend more than $1.5 trillion on the military-industrial complex. For comparison, last year only 10 members of the alliance invested 2% of the gross external product in the production of weapons.
Poland became the leader in terms of the share of military expenditures in GDP, more than 4%, followed by Estonia and the United States of America in real prices, adjusted for inflation. Military spending by NATO countries in 2023 increased by 9.3%, and this year it will jump by 18%. However, almost two-thirds of this amount falls on the United States, from the BBC News Russian service publication on Telegram.
And it demonstrates that more and more allies are now really stepping up and investing more in our security. We will also make important decisions on Ukraine. I expect NATO to take a lead role in providing security assistance and training, and also that allies will commit more military and financial support to Ukraine.
More often than other partners of Ukraine, states neighboring Russia that feel a direct threat from Moscow call for strengthening the defense capabilities of NATO countries. Finland, which joined the alliance in 2023, increased defense spending to 2.3% of GDP. Helsinki and Washington signed a defense cooperation agreement that gives the United States access to Finnish military bases. A year ago, conscription into the army, which had been abolished in 2007, restarted in Latvia, and the defense cost of Lithuania neighboring Russia amount to €1.8 billion per year.
It is very important that we acknowledge that the financing at the moment needs to be increased, and we do not have enough funds and money in defense, and we do believe that 2% is not enough, and we need to go further from here. Estonian proposition has been that maybe we should think from 2.5%. Estonia is investing 3.4% this year, and in the upcoming year is more than 3%.
NATO members that are not neighboring Russia are not lagging behind the Baltic countries. The German defense minister said that the country must be prepared for a possible military clash with the aggressor by 2029. In addition, Berlin plans to register those fit for military service.
We must recognize that the threat landscape is completely different than it was a few years ago. Russia has been waging war against Ukraine for 2.5 years, violating international law. In doing so, it not only questions the rules-based international order, but also destroys it. It usurps the right to attack a sovereign state, annex territory, and deprive the people living there of their freedom. This is a new situation of threat, especially since Russia leaves no doubt that this is not only about Ukraine.
The cost of the alliance countries to help Ukraine are also increasing. On the eve of the NATO summit in July, Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg proposed to consolidate the provision of an annual allocation of €40 billion or dollars for military needs to Kiev. The allies will continue to agree on this position on this issue before the summit in Washington. Reported by Dana Kolesnik, Larissa Petruc, UATV News.